Hey there everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Nose Rides and Nosedives. My name's Adam, and this is the Morning Grind. You! Alright, so in this week's vlog, I'm going to be sharing a quote from one of my favorite surf books. And I actually lucked out and I was able to catch a few hidden gems hidden in a really messy morning. But before we get started with that, I want you to grab yourself one of these so that you can sit back and enjoy the vibes. You! All right, so we are on our way off to the waves now, and well, haven't been out in the water for a little over a week because the conditions haven't been great. But the last week's vlog I shared with you guys was just epic, and if you missed out on that one, you got to go back and check it out because the conditions were perfect, glassy conditions, and it was the best session I think I've ever experienced. But the reason it was the best session was because, well, the conditions were perfect, but I was also surfing really kind of beyond what I'm capable of doing. But at the same time, I think it all happened because I was able to lose myself in the moment and really lose my agenda, you know, that personal goal setting and, you know, ambitions, and those are fantastic. You got to have those, but you also kind of got to sometimes unplug yourself from that agenda that you have to try and improve all the time and just enjoy being present in the moment. And that's exactly what happened last week. So it was an amazing session. But I'm not going to go into that. You guys got to go back, check that out if you haven't done so already. Today's session, I'm on my way out now, and I had a thought sort of cross my mind. I've been reading from this book, Barbarian Days, and it's just an amazing book. It's the second time I'm actually reading it. The first time I read it last year, but you know, you forget, and then the more advanced you are, and the second time around reading it, you pick up certain things, and this is exactly what happened this time. I picked up a sentence here in the book that says, "Surfing, to begin with, is not a sport. It is a path. And the more you pour yourself into it, the more you get back." And that's so true. Like, but I mean, that's the same thing with anything really, because it's not a sport. It's, in a sense, it can be, you can call it a game, right? The game of life. But and surfing, it's not a sport either. It's sort of just like it's your life, right? The more you put into it, the more you get back in return. And that's what I really kind of figure. I think last week's, losing my agenda. I love having an agenda. I love having focus and goals and trying to improve and progress. It's an amazing feeling. It's a very important part of human nature, I think, to feel progress. But with that all said and done, sometimes you just got to realize that, it's actually the pursuit of those goals itself. It's not the actual, the event. It's not a sport. It's a path, right? Like choosing to go out and use all your time in the water and try and learning how to surf and enjoying the process of learning it and everything that goes along with it, being out in nature and being in touch with yourself and unplugging yourself from the matrix of the agenda, the personal agenda, just being present. It's all part of the package. And with surfing, it's just, the more often you put yourself in those positions, the more you get back and the more you learn about yourself. So yeah, anyways, enough rambling for me for today. You know what? We gotta get out in the water and we're gonna do some surfing. So we'll see you in the water. Phew! So I have to admit, when I first arrived in the parking spot, I thought this was terrible. And you know what? I was also I completely understood why I was the only one out today, because at first sight, looking out over the water, I was thinking, this looks terrible. The waves are really messy and I couldn't really see a line. But then studied it for a while and I saw the line. I had to paddle a little ways out and a little ways over to where I'm used to surfing. But I'm so glad I did that, because once I did that and I got out in the water, I managed to catch a few hidden gems, as you can see here today. And that's sometimes what it's all about, just getting out there and taking the conditions for what they are, but and having the right mindset. Because I think if you're out there and you're sometimes a little bit frustrated by the conditions and you think this is terrible, then of course they're going to be terrible. If you go in there and you're a little bit more optimistic, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I think you'd be surprised. and you'll be able to find something and carve something out of a messy day, and actually make it into a great day. So yeah, that's exactly what I did today, and I am so happy I actually chose to get out there in the water, especially because I'd just gone through a drought where there was like no waves for over a week. But you know, so I guess, you know, sometimes it's just a matter of forcing yourself to get out there. We got waves, and they're not great, but that's how it is. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up for today. Thank you again so much for tuning in today. If you're enjoying these vlogs and you haven't done so already, then please be sure to hit subscribe, hit notification, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for the stoke, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. You!